Hello guys, hello and welcome back. Welcome back to our little coffee club. You guys are gonna see that this is a clip that I recorded additional to this whole entire video. You will see that I opened this bag of coffee a couple days ago, and since then, I've brewed it already another couple more times. I haven't even started editing the video I recorded this weekend talking about this coffee, and when I first opened it up, you guys will see my first reaction to it. And we brewed it as pour over and as espresso. So you're gonna see all of that on this video. But the reason why I'm recording this additional clip is because I think I was not emphatic enough about this coffee. Okay, I don't think I expressed myself the way I should have. It is the morning right now, and I just finished I shouldn't say I just finished. I finished about an hour ago my morning brew. And I made it on the tricklet today. I tried it on the tricklet, and I got a really good extraction out of it. I also have made it now on the origami a couple of times. And I wanted to add this clip to the video just so that I could tell you guys and be emphatic enough about this coffee, because I'm gonna go out on a limb right now, and I'm going to say this coffee, I think it's hard, you know how much coffee I've had in my life. I mean, it's been a lot of coffee. But I'm gonna say this is in the top 5 coffees of all times. Okay, top 5. I don't know. I don't know, maybe, everyone has different taste preferences and what you prefer. But wow, the stars have aligned for me with this bag of coffee, okay? It's just perfect. It's perfect. I don't think I can ask anything else from a cup of coffee, okay? And again, I'm gonna be specific to pour over, okay? Not espresso. I'm talking about pour over. I've tried it as espresso already. You guys will see it on this video. The very first espresso I made with it. Since then, I tried it again. I gotta say, as espresso, I wouldn't put it in my top 5. But as for making pour over, I would say this is in the top 5 of all times, okay? And I don't think in the video I was emphatic enough. Although you'll see my first reaction to this coffee when I first tasted it. But, I felt I needed to include this clip. So I want to give you guys a couple more little pointers that I'm not sure if I even talked about it on the video, what you guys are gonna see here on the next following clips when I first tried it. But basically, is a couple of things I wanted to mention is that with this coffee, you want to get a really good extraction, okay? And I'm talking about pour overs. As espresso, you guys let me know if you decide to try it, and you try it and maybe you tweaked it a certain way or did something with it as espresso that you got something more out of it than what I've been able to do so far. But as pour over, okay, you're gonna want to grind it a little bit finer than you're used to. You want to get a little bit hotter water, like most light roasts, okay? You're gonna want to go with I've been brewing it at 98 degrees. You might want to go all the way to boiling. I might try that. I might go all the way to boiling, but I've been brewing it really close to boiling as it is. So, but this is one that you're gonna want to brew for a little bit longer. So you want to grind it a little bit finer than maybe you normally would. Today on the tricklet, I was at 45 clicks on the K Plus, 45 clicks, and I got a brew time of 6 minutes. And it was just perfect. It was perfect. I don't think I want to extend it more. I have ground for the tricklet on the K Plus. I have gone down as far as I think it was like 4. And I have my extractions, I have gotten it up to like 8 minutes, and I don't think that that's necessary. Usually at around 6.5 to 7 minutes, that's usually for most coffees, you're gonna get the most out of them. And today it was spot on. It was absolutely perfect. So yeah, this is one that you're gonna wanna brew with hot water, definitely close to boiling, if not already at boiling. And you want a little bit longer contact time, so a little bit longer brew time. Again, on the tricklet, and again, I have a review already on this device, this brewing device here on the channel, so you can look through the videos and you'll see. But yeah, this is a very slow brewer, and it allows you to have a lot of contact time between that hot water and the coffee grounds to get a really good extraction. Usually I go with 17, and that's what I did today. Okay, 17 grams in, 320 grams of water out, and I usually do 2 pours, one of 100 grams for the bloom, which I know is quite a lot, but I allow it to just bloom and to start the process for the first about minute to a minute and a half. Then after that, I'll go ahead and go straight up to the 320 grams and allow it to drain through. There is a lot of agitation and different techniques I have to do with the tricklet. And again, I go through all of that on my review on this brewer. So I cover all of that and show you the different techniques that I use to control channeling, because that's the main thing with this thing is controlling channeling. But wow, today I gotta say, I said I have to record another clip. I have to record another clip because I don't think I was emphatic enough as to how good this coffee is for pour overs. And I just got to grab another clip, tell the guys, what's been going on with this coffee. I've been making it now for the last, I'd say like 3 days in a row. So I recorded what you're gonna see here. It was on the weekend. I think I did it on Sunday. Today is Tuesday morning. So I made it yesterday. I made it this morning. Yesterday I made it again on the origami. And I don't think I got it spot on. As a matter of fact, on the origami, the very first brew, what you're gonna see on this video, was better than yesterday's. But today, on the tricklet, wow, it was mind-blowing. It was super good. I mean, as good as coffee could be, at least for me. Okay, so anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. I just figured I had to get another quick little clip and give you these little pointers on this coffee as I've been learning about it. And again, if this is the very first video you run into of mine, subscribe to the channel and join us here in our little coffee club. And I'll report back to you guys on this particular coffee as I make more of it. I still have a whole bunch. So there's quite a few more brews to come with it. I'm gonna experiment again a little bit more with espresso because I think I could do better. So yeah, anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. I'll see you guys. Hello friends, hello, and welcome back to our little coffee club. I hope everyone is doing well. Let's start by saying, fun little fact. Last video, I had this little box out and I had it out because I didn't want to forget to mention it. And I forgot to mention it. So anyway, I'm so crazy. Not only that, in the last video, I did the same thing again, okay, with the little where I weighed the beans on the little white dish and then grind it into the catch cup of the niche. And again, it throws me off. I'm like, sometimes I'm concentrating on what I'm doing and maybe things I want to say on the video, and then I just overlook some like really obvious thing. But anyway, all right, so today we are going to talk about this bad boy here. We got another new coffee to review. This one is from Good Brothers, and reason I ordered it is because a while back I tried a coffee from Canopy. I'll try to include a picture here if I find it. It was a coffee from Costa Rica, and I remember it being the coffee with the highest acidity that I've tried to date, okay? So when I saw Good Brothers had this Costa Rican coffee here, I said, you know what, I'm gonna order it. I wanna see if it's just as juicy, bright, and citrusy as the previous one that I tried from Canopy, which I found it to be delicious. So here it is. Today we're gonna try this out. I plan on brewing it as a pour over, but we're also gonna do a espresso on the niche. So let's get to the other counter, and I have everything set up and ready to go for my afternoon brew. I can't wait to try it, and let's open the bag and brew some coffee. All right, so we're gonna start with the pour over. We're gonna start with the pour over, and we're gonna use the origami. Okay, so once again, we're gonna use the origami. We're gonna do our usual 1 to 15 ratio. So we'll grind
20 grams of coffee and get out about 300 grams. And I do that in 3 pours, each pour of 100 grams. And usually I get a brew time of somewhere between 3 and 4 minutes. And that seems to be the magic formula here. Last time we tried to make a small batch, but today I'm gonna go ahead with the usual routine. We'll talk again about the side glass coffee. I've been experimenting a whole bunch with that, and I have more to say on it, but we'll talk about that maybe on the next video. So we're gonna grind it on the K Plus, the 1Z Presso or Easy Presso K Plus. Again, we're at 6. This just, it's a setting that works very well for most coffees on when I make them on the origami. So again, that's 60 clicks on the K Plus. And let's see, the water's heating up, the kettle's going. Again, that EKG from Fellow, that kettle is really a joy to use. I always say it, but I have enjoyed it so much, I never even used the other one. Today I could have used the other one because you could probably go to boiling on this or close to it. So normally what I used to do with just a regular stove top kettle is put it until it boils and then take it off the boiling and wait a couple minutes while I grind the coffee or get things going, and then I use it. So let's go ahead. The kettle is gonna be holding at 97 degrees, which again is a setting that works very well for lighter roast coffees. And yeah, let's see what we get. Okay, so the first step, we gotta dose out our 20 grams. I can't believe I did that again with dosing into here and then grinding into the catch cup from the niche. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let's see. All right, let's start the scale. Okay, so we're at 0. Good Brothers always puts the little tab that you could just tear. It makes it so easy to open the bags. And then they have a nice Ziploc. So these bags, I don't mind keeping the coffee in the bag itself the whole time I'm using it. Again, I go through my coffee fairly quickly, so I doubt I'll have this for more than 2 or 3 weeks, and I've never had an issue where the flavor or the coffee seems to deteriorate in any kind of way. So I just go ahead, at least when I have good quality bags like this, I just keep it in the bag. Okay, 20 grams. Okay, 20.1 and 19.9. So I need a small bean, but we're just gonna roll with 19.9. It's not that serious. Anyway, let's put the bag off to the side. Let me show you guys the roast level. Okay, I will call it a true medium roast. There are some beans in there a little bit on the lighter side, but all right, we should be focused there. As you could see, they are, yeah, maybe a medium to light. That's almost borderline just straight up medium, at least in my opinion, but we'll see. The flavor will kind of tell me also. So let's go ahead and grind it. This is our 19.9 grams. All right, I hope today I don't forget to record a clip like last time. But again, it's not the morning, this is the afternoon brew, so things usually go a lot easier in the afternoon for me. Early in the morning, I just usually, I'm not a big talker, I'm just quiet to myself, go through my routine, and trying to record makes it a little bit more challenging. So the afternoon, that's where it's at. Here we go. This should take about, I don't know, 25, 30 seconds. All right, that's it. I'll look on the recording and then put it here on the screen as to how long that took. All right, everything went through. All right, so I show it almost every time, but I just use the regular Oreo V60 coffee filters. Just run of the mill. Okay, we're gonna start by folding the filter. Okay, our kettle's ready at 97. We're gonna rinse it out and start getting everything nice and warm. Okay, so that rinse helps for the filter to stick to the brewer, and it starts getting everything nice and warm and ready for your brew. So what I like to do is, once I rinse the filter and get everything like this, I take the hot water from in here and I put it into the cup to start getting the cup warmed up. Okay, that's gonna get our cup nice and warm. I'm gonna move the cup to the other side to give myself a little bit more room. Okay, we're in frame, everything looks good there. All right, so we have our 20 grams. Smells great, guys. Nothing like a brand new bag, nice fresh coffee. It's just part of the routine, it's part of the enjoyment. All right, today we do have our 20 grams, so I am gonna create the divot like I usually do. Today I'm gonna get a clip with my phone of this process because I never actually show it, I think. But basically, I mean, this is just a wooden chopstick. And then what you wanna do is make a divot right in the middle. So you just put the chopstick in there and then go around like this. I hope I got that, I hope I recorded that right. Okay, so I'm going real slow, obviously, because I'm trying to record here with my phone and show you guys at the same time. But anyway, what happens is you get this divot there, and then you're gonna pour the water right into the divot and fill up from the middle. And then once you fill up the divot, you go all around until you hit 100 grams. That's how we start. And then part of that process is so that everything gets saturated equally, evenly. You know, if not, you have like a lot more coffee in the middle than on the sides. So in the center, it tends to like not get really saturated and start extracting together with everything else. So that's just, you know, part of the thinking behind creating the divot. Okay, so we have to start by tearing the scale. Okay, we're at 0. All right, there we go. Every time I do this, I you know, I can never get it exactly right trying to film and do the pouring and everything. But there I wanted to show you guys, you know, there's our start to the brew. Okay, so I went up to 90, but I got everything pretty much started, and that's the main point. Okay, you see the coffee degassing, okay, that's called a bloom. Usually people bloom with a lot less water, but I just like to keep it in an easy way, something easy to remember. And to me, it just seems to work just fine because usually people do twice the weight of the grounds. So that would mean 40 grams of water. With 40 grams of water, I don't even think I can saturate everything. But anyway, that's what it looks like. Okay, that's my first pour, and it's pretty much all drained out. So let's go ahead and do the second pour. Okay, so on the second pour, we're just gonna go around the sides and start to wash everything down. We're gonna go all the way till we hit the 200 grams. And then I always do some agitation. Now, why the agitation? Again, the goal here is to extract everything evenly, okay, and so that you could get the most out of your coffee. When you do agitation, you have to be somewhat conscious of the fact that the brew is gonna slow down. And depending on how many fines your grinder is putting out, and on that particular coffee, because they don't all give you the same amount of fines, you know, your brew time is, you're gonna have to adjust for that, okay? But if you don't do any agitation, you're running the chance of everything not being saturated and extracted evenly and properly, okay? So some agitation is always good practice. Now, again, you just have to account for that. It's gonna slow down your brew. So if you see that your brew time took way too long, then you're gonna have to grind coarser. Okay, so let's do the third pour because it's pretty much all done. Okay, we're at 2.5 minutes. So I think we're on, you know, we're gonna be close to the 4-minute mark, I think. We'll see. Okay, so we are 302.4. Okay, so at this point, I usually dump this water out, and then whatever water's left over in the kettle, which is usually enough to get it pretty much to where you serve it to drink from, usually I will get it back up to there. Let's see. Okay, so now I can just go ahead and turn off the kettle, use the rest of the water in here. Okay, this is still, the final drawdown is happening here, guys. We're at 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and we have a little bit of water left, so I think we're gonna hit about 4 minutes. Okay, so I get all the water in there. Now this is empty. I take the lid off. I dry it. I don't always show this. I don't think I've ever showed this part. But anyway, I dry it so that I don't want things to start rusting or whatever. I don't know if it's gonna rust anyway, but it's just to keep it nice and clean and tidy. You guys know how I do it. Okay, this is done. We can call it. It looks like it finished like at 350. Okay, so 3 minutes, 50 seconds. Usually on my third pour, sometimes I'll do a little bit more agitation just to get a nice flat bed of grounds at the end. As you're gonna see right now, it's not perfectly flat, and that's because I didn't move it around a little bit to kind of even it out. Now, if your pouring technique is like spot on, you're like an expert, then you could probably get it to where it's flat. But usually for me, to get it nice and flat, I have to do a little small agitation towards the end. Okay, so we calling it like around 350, so just under 4 minutes. Now we can turn off the scale. So I showed you guys this little process today. Now another thing I like to do is to leave it without the top on, just so that whatever water is in there, now everything's nice and hot, whatever water's in there just evaporates and everything gets really nice and dry. And again, just to kind of avoid anything from rusting, or I just like to keep things nice and tidy and new looking. So all right, so we're done with our brew. Let's serve it and get back to the other counter, and then we'll talk about it.
All right, so Good Brothers Costa Rican. Let's see if it's as nice and citrusy and juicy as the one I had from Canopy. Okay, so something I think I've never mentioned, but these cups, you fill them up to right here. Okay, so up to where the double wall ends. From here down, you have the double wall, and then the rest of the way up is just a single. So you just fill it up to usually this line here. When I make my coffee in the morning, and right now, it gives me this amount twice. 300 grams, so I guess this is 150. Whoa, wow, that is good. That is delicious. But it's way different, okay? It's way different. Anyway, we're gonna have to let it cool, because you guys know as the coffee cools, the flavors are gonna change quite a bit sometimes. So, aroma, nice aroma. Wow, this is, this Costa Rican coffee, man. The other one was very citrusy, really different to this. Okay, it was really different to this one. But I remember it being very good, very juicy, sweet, but very citrus forward, like an orange, like a grapefruit kind of thing, This one, equally just as nice. Very sweet, but there are flavors in there, and I'm gonna guess at them. Let's turn the bag around. There's nothing written in the back of it, and I haven't looked for the tasting notes, but obviously there's nothing written anywhere, so it's gotta be in the front. So let me turn it around, because I do like guessing at the notes. Now, again, I'm gonna say right off the top, I don't think it's citrusy. Wow, man, this is a good coffee. I like this. I like them all. But every now and then, you get one that has something a little more. Okay, let's just say. Wow, there's a sweetness to it. Definitely a fruity coffee. I would say it's a fruitier coffee, maybe some kind of berries. There is acidity, but very mild. The one from Canopy was way more acidity than this. And again, very citrus forward. This is a lot sweeter, a lot. And you know what? The brew time, well, we were almost at 4 minutes, and that's when things start to turn from a lot of brightness and acidity. They start to get more into like a bolder flavor, sweeter, okay? So, wow, I don't know. I'm very, very pleasantly surprised with this coffee. I have to say, man, I don't know. I like them all. I like them all. But from the ones I've had recent, I gotta say, maybe this one turns out to be my favorite. I can't say off the first brew. You know, I can't really say from just the very first time I brew it, but I'm very pleasantly surprised. Okay, acidity starting to build now. There's more acidity now than when I first tasted it. I'm still gonna say fruity. Fruity, maybe some kind of berries, but whatever berries, they are more on the sweeter side. So I don't know, can you guys name some berries that are sweet, like sweeter than not so high acidity? Wow. All right, I give up, but I am gonna say sweet. Oh, again, is it like that same like cane sugar, like brown sugar, caramel kind of note? Let's try to look for that. Let's try to look for that. You know, I would say no. I would say no. The sweetness of it is more like a fruit, like some kind of sweet fruit. All right, it's time to read the tasting notes. All right, let me get my glasses. Wow, I really needed some coffee too. Man, I love my afternoon brews. Again, this is just so much more, I don't know, more enjoyable for me than the morning brews. I like doing the morning brews, but I shouldn't say that. I enjoy my morning brews equally, okay, than doing this afternoon sessions. And again, the afternoon sessions is only on the weekends. That's when I record the videos. So trying to record in the mornings for me is way different. Okay, I like recording in the afternoon a lot better than in the morning. In the morning, I'm still like half asleep, and then I'm trying to record. I haven't even had coffee. I'm just, you know, it's totally different. But wow, I love my afternoon brews. All right, let's go ahead and read the tasting notes. All right. One of these days I'm gonna get it like completely off. You guys are gonna laugh at me. But hey, I do my best. I do what I can. All right. What do we have? Costa Rica. Oh, we have some kind of Termico fermentation. So we have some kind of I wonder if that has anything to do with the difference, because the other one was just washed. It was a Costa Rican washed coffee, the one from Canopy. And that one, again, a lot more citrus forward, brightness, acidity. And it was a little bit lighter roast than this one. This is a little bit more developed. It'll bring out some more sweetness and stuff. That also is gonna have something to do with it. But we do have, I'm gonna look into this. Comment if you guys know what's Termico fermentation. Never heard of that one, at least I don't remember. Okay, roasted date, February 19th. Okay, and what's today? All right, today is March 25th, so it's been a month. It's been a month, and again, a month is sometimes a real good amount of time to wait for a lot of coffees to develop. Sometimes, you know, from what I've heard, okay, you should wait like at least like a week, like 7 days, and then maybe up to like 10 days. 2 weeks. Rule of thumb, most coffees, 2 weeks. So this is already a month. But wow, I gotta say, this is delicious. All right, here we go. Tasting notes. Raspberry. So there you go. That's the berries. Now, raspberries, I don't think they're like this, some of the sweetest berries.
As I was editing the video, I Googled it and I looked it up. I Googled what berries are the sweetest. And I'm going to read to you guys a little bit of what I found. This article here says, black raspberry is the sweetest berry, beating the blackberry. Super ripe red raspberries can be up there on the number 1 spot too. So when the raspberries get really ripe, they become very sweet. So I guess raspberries are some of the sweetest. Another thing I looked into was that Termico processing, and I plan to talk a little bit more on that in an upcoming video. So stay tuned, but let's get back to the video.
Raspberry. I don't know, maybe they are, I don't know. So raspberries, obviously I've had them, but mandarin. So mandarin, you see, that is what the other one tasted like. You had that, but I'm not getting the citrusness. I'm not getting the high acidity here. You know, maybe it was the way I brewed it. Maybe I gotta go for like a quicker, you know, we'll talk about this more as the days go. I'll try it again in the morning and see what I get from it. You know, sometimes I make notes so that I can tell you guys about the coffee when, you know, usually I do like a final thoughts on whatever coffee we're playing around with, and tell you guys as the days went by and I tried it different ways. I tried on the tricklet, I make more espresso, I try it with milk and see what happens, and then I report back. Like I was telling Carrie last time, that the very last shot I put with that coffee from Beanstalk was like my favorite shot. It was mind-blowing. It was so good, that last one. Okay, so we got raspberries, we have mandarin, and we have sugar. So, well, the sweetness, you know, it's very apparent. I didn't think it was the same sugar note. Again, this is just plain white sugar, I guess. Maybe it's a little bit different than when you get the brown sugar or the, you know, I don't know. It is sweet, definitely sweet. Honestly, I thought I was gonna see on here something like mango, you know, or some kind of other fruit that's very sweet. And that's what I was gonna kind of point out as being the sweetness of the coffee coming from. Because to my palate right now, it just feels like some kind of sweetness from a fruit. Raspberries, maybe. Definitely the little berryness, you know, the little acidity from berries. Some berries are not very high in acidity, and that's what I am getting. I'm gonna have to buy some fresh raspberries and taste them to see if their level of acidity and sweetness. Now, definitely the mandarin, it was mandarin, right? Yeah, the mandarin, I'm not getting like, yes, mandarins are very sweet. Some things are extremely sweet. So, but they're always gonna taste like a citrus. You know, you're gonna get that high, you're gonna get like that acidity from citrus that you get from citrus, but maybe so, maybe, okay. I mean, I do have a little bit of acidity. Wow, this is wonderful. I do have to say, wow, good brothers, good job. This is awesome. Excellent coffee. Oof, so good. Maybe it has just, you know, the way it happened to, the water happened to flow through the grounds today. I don't know, you know, like I tell you guys, there's just so many variables. You know, you grind your coffee, you're gonna have, the particle distribution is gonna always be different, okay? It's not gonna always, you know, The temperature of the water as you're pouring it and all of that is gonna be a little bit different. The way the water flows through the grounds is gonna be a little bit different. And I mean, you could try to make 2 brews exactly the same everything, same grinder, same timing, same everything, and they are going to taste a little bit different. Well, you know, very, very similar. You know, maybe you'll be like 99%, you know, but there always gonna be something that you could kind of taste that is a little bit different. In my experience, almost always. But you know, by that point, I just say, hey, look, I can't. They're just too close. Sometimes you have some coffees that you try them and you're like, wow, this is totally different. Nobody has to tell you. Nobody has to help you like, oh, can you tell? No, you'll be able to tell. It'll be obvious. And the brewing method, again, makes a huge difference. If you make coffee in a mocha pot and you make it like this in the origami, it's gonna be way different. Okay, you pull a shot of espresso and you compare it to, let's say like Turkish coffee, it's gonna be way different. Nobody has to tell you, it's completely different methods. Now, if you have similar methods, let's say origami versus V60, now that's gonna be very close to the point that you might say, yeah, they're a little different, but you know, they're very close. But some methods are completely different and it'll be obvious. The same like with some coffees are completely different and it'll be obvious to you. When it comes to roasting levels, that's a big difference. Okay, you get a dark roast, a medium roast, and a light roast, and you're gonna be able to taste the difference. Anybody will taste the difference. Okay, you'll have to adjust your water temperature, you'll have to adjust your brew time to that, because that is a big difference. But you're comparing one light roast to another, difference is slight. It's not gonna be like huge. Every now and then, you get some that are quite different. They are quite different. This one, wow, I wonder, I'm gonna look into that fermentation style. I don't know, but this coffee is sweet, it's fruity, and it's awesome. It's lovely. Let's go ahead and let me finish this, because if not, this video is gonna get like 2 hours long. Let me finish this, and then I'll meet you guys back at the other counter, and we'll do some puck prep and grind some coffee for a shot of espresso. All right, something I forgot to mention. I want to include this clip here. I didn't want to forget. As soon as I turned off the camera, the very first thing I went to do is rinse this off. Something I never show you guys as well. You know, I keep everything spotless, okay? And when I make my pour-overs, the very first thing I do, and I did it today the same, that's why you already, I don't know if you could see it, but you could see the origami sitting back there on top of the little cloth. You know, the very first thing I do, I rinse everything. I rinse it out, and usually you don't need to use soap on the origami. Just rinse it, and I rinse it immediately. I take out the filter with the grounds, and I rinse the brewer right away, and then I dry it. So I do the same thing with this. So I rinse it and I dry it. That's why my glassware never has water spots, because I wash the stuff and rinse it. Like obviously the cup that I drink from, I use soap on it. On this, usually I don't use soap. I just rinse it and dry it, and everything stays spotless, everything stays really nice. So for me, it's just, you know, my routine is to, as soon as I finish with something, I rinse it and I dry it. Okay, so my espresso machine is always spotless because everything gets rinsed and dried right away, okay? So I just wanted to show you guys something that, you know, I usually don't talk about this or show you guys this part. It's just kind of boring, but it might help some of you out there that are just getting started and you wonder like, oh, you know, how is this thing never has water spots or whatever? Because I dry it. So you can't let it air dry with water in it or whatever. It's gonna always have some water spots. So I don't like that. I rinse everything out, dry it right away. So as soon as I turned off the camera, I picked this thing up, I was gonna rinse it. And I go, oh man, I forgot to talk about that. And today, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about that part of my routine. So, all right, I'll see you guys in a couple seconds. All right, so let me show you guys. You see everything's rinsed off, nice and dry, and sitting off to the side. So that's how I keep everything always nice and clean and well kept. By just, as soon as I use it, I rinse it, I dry it, and everything stays always nice and new looking. So let's go ahead and do some puck prep, and those are 18 grams to try to pull a shot
with this Costa Rican coffee from Good Brothers, and I have the niche set at 15 and a half. Let me show you guys. You know, sometimes on the camera it's very hard to tell because of the angle, but I'm trying to hold it to where it's right in, you could see it's right in the middle between 15 and 16, so we're calling that 15 and a half. And again, with the niche, you know, you can always make very tiny adjustments. It's stepless, so you could put it basically anywhere you want and tweak or adjust your grind size until your heart is content. And you could always dial in the perfect shot by just making, you know, little small tweaks. So let's go ahead and dose out 18 grams and see how that works for us, and see if we could get like around a 30-second shot. As you guys know, if you've been watching the videos, you know I like doing a 1-to-3 ratio. So that means 18 grams in and about 54 grams out, somewhere around 50, 54, something like that. That's usually where I like to be, and usually that should happen in around 35. For something like this that I'm gonna drink as a straight shot, I would say 30, 35 seconds, something like that should be perfect. All right, let me get the scale ready. It's not gonna happen today, okay? Today I'm being conscious as to weigh my beans in here and not to swap from one thing to the other like I tend to do, and then I'm shocked like when I see that I got some kind of crazy reading. Anyway, okay, here we go, 18 grams. You know, another thing I like about the Good Brothers bags, or you know, there's other companies that use very similar bags, is that to dose out, you could just, you know, make this shape with it and everything pours out real nice. It's not like some other bags that you're trying to control the beans from like flowing out all over the place or something like that. But with these, usually it's very easy to get the beans in there. Okay, we are at 18.1. If I take a bean out, unless it's real small, oh, that was a small one. So we're at 18. So we're right at 18. Let's see if the niche gives us any retention today. You guys know with the niche, usually you're gonna, whatever you put in is pretty much what you get out. It'll be either spot on, or you might be a plus 0.1 or 0.2, or maybe a minus 0.1, 0.2, but it's usually very, very accurate. I don't do any water spraying or anything like that. I just grind as, you know, as it's meant to be done, and be done with it. Nothing happens. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, I got the beans in there. Okay, you guys have seen me time and time again. I always turn it off and go one more time, because sometimes there'll be a bean that doesn't fall through. Okay, let's see what we got today. Okay, so we were right at 18 grams. Wow, we're way off today. This is the most it's ever been off. I had gotten 0.3 once before, never 0.4. This is the most. There's gotta be a bean stuck in there somewhere. Whatever it is, it's not going through. I don't hear it. Well, there you have it. It made me look bad. This is the most I've ever been off. Usually, again, you know, you're not off by more than 0.1, 0.2. But we're gonna have to grind maybe another bean or two and adjust it right to 18. So let me do that. Okay, so obviously I tore this out, everything I did, all kinds of stuff, so we're not gonna be able to know exactly what we have, but this is how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna zero it out. Okay, so we're at 0. Let me dry the portafilter. We should be right around 18. Maybe we'll be like at 18.2 or something like that. But this is how we do this. Okay, we're gonna just take it from here, put it into our portafilter, then we weigh this empty. And it should give us a negative number, right? It should be minus 18. So minus 19, so that means I'm gonna have to take 1 gram. Again, we gotta do a little math today. See, I can't do this in the morning. Okay. All right, so here we go. I have to take 1 gram and put it in here. Okay, not yet. Okay, there we go. So right now I should have 18 in here, and that's how we're gonna do it. Okay, so I should have my 18 grams in here. Okay, let's do some WDT. Wow, this is really nice and fluffy today. It's like, I wonder if it's too fine. We'll see. Usually when I tamp it, I could take a good guess. Okay, distribute. First I tamp with this one. Yeah, I got not a lot of resistance. We'll see. And then I finish with this one, because if you get a lot of resistance from the get-go, you don't have to use this one. But if you get very little resistance and you want to keep it always the same, then you're going to have to finish tamping with this one. And I've explained quite a few times why I use 2. So check out some of the other videos. Unless you've been watching all of them, then you know. Okay, so it went down, but not a whole bunch, okay? It went down a little bit more. I think we'll be somewhere in the range. Okay, so this is a brand new bag. This is very fresh coffee. So if you tamp it right and you do things right, you have fresh coffee, you're not grinding too coarse, you should be able to turn it upside down and it doesn't come out. Now don't shake it around, and don't try to do that with coffee that's not very fresh, or you're gonna have a mess in your hands, okay? So be forewarned, okay? Don't do this trick all the time, okay? But if things go well, usually you could do it. I think we'll be somewhere around 35-40 seconds, but I could be totally wrong. Let's see what happens. Let's lock it in and pull a shot. Let's get the scale ready. Okay, so sometimes I go over like the functions of the scale, but I've done it so many times today, we're just gonna pull the shot. So I have my little shot glass here from Crew. Get it on there. Okay, and as soon as the scale tears and you get the flashing A, I start doing pre-infusion. I like to do 5, maybe 5-6 seconds, something like that. So you just hold the button down and let it go. The machine will go to full pressure and it should start brewing your shot. Unless you're too fine. If you're too fine, you might get nothing, like it's just happening right now. Let's see if it ever starts dripping. Yeah, okay, it just started dripping. So we are too fine. By how much? Well, we'll see. We'll see. We're at 15.5. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go to at least, I don't know, 16.5, maybe even 17, because we're getting very little. But this is how you dial in. You know, it's a brand new coffee. I don't know where to grind it. I just do a setting that usually works and try it. This is gonna be over extracted and most likely somewhat bitter or very bitter. I'm gonna let it run. The infuser will run for about a minute before it times out, and then it stops brewing by itself. The scale has this thing where if it's brewing very slowly, like it was doing right now, usually it'll stop timing your shot. It's one of the things I don't like about it. Other than that, I really love the scale, but all right. Let's see, let it drip there a little bit, and then I'm gonna taste it anyway, but I have a feeling this is gonna be bitter. Over extracted, obviously. All right, wow, look at how little we got. Well, that didn't focus on there. But look at how little we got. Oh, wow. Whew. Oh my goodness. Damn, I should have drank less. That is very bitter. It's like a straight shot of some kind of crazy whiskey that burns all the way down. Anyway, that's way too strong, way too bitter. Let's dial in. I think I'm gonna go all the way up to, I'm gonna go to 17 and see what happens. Okay, so in order to get set up for pulling another shot, basically, you know, take the grounds and obviously dump it. I usually rinse this out, and then I pull one dummy shot just into some kind of container to catch the water, and I dump that out. I already did that part. So I like to do a second dummy shot because what I want to do is get everything hot again. Okay, so I want to heat this up. I want to heat up my shot glass once more. So now I pull a second dummy shot. I'm not gonna need this anymore. Okay, I pull a second dummy shot. There's gonna be a little bit of grounds in there, so that's why the water looks like brown like this. But the main thing is that you wanna get the hot water into your little shot glass. You wanna get this hot again. Okay, so, and remember, this is after I already pulled one dummy shot and got already some of the, you know, the grounds and stuff that are stuck in the group head. I got that out already. So this is the second one, and you could see where you're still getting some grounds still coming out. So, but that was very little. So I wipe everything down, you know. This is gonna have some water in it, so be careful as you're taking it out. We dry our portafilter. Now everything's nice and hot and we're ready to pull another shot. Okay, as you're getting ready for your second shot, put your portafilter back on here so it could stay nice and hot, and leave the hot water in your little shot glass so that stays nice and hot. And let's dose out and try again. Okay, I went over a bit. 17.9, 18. Okay, we got 18 grams. You know what? I have a feeling this time when we grind it, we're gonna have extra coffee because whatever got stuck in there in the niche is gonna come out. So we're at 18. I have a feeling we'll come back out with 18.2 or something like that. We'll see. Okay, so again, we went all the way up to 17. We're at 17 on the niche. For some coffees, that's a big difference, you know, but we'll see. I could see the bean. There's a bean that still hasn't gone through. There you go. Okay, do that again. All right, and let's see. Let's see if I'm right. I have a feeling I'm gonna have a little bit more than 18. Okay, so that's focused. No, again, this time it's, well, 17.8. I'm gonna leave it like that, but again, 0.1, 0.2, I don't worry about it. But wow, I'm really surprised. You know, now I'm starting to wonder if I did something wrong, like, or the scale didn't, I don't know. I'm getting suspicious. 17.8, so, all right, we're gonna roll with that. Let's go ahead and do some puck prep. Okay, start by drying the portafilter. Get our dosing ring on there. So we got everything in here. Now we'll do some WDT and distribute and declump and get everything nice and fluffy. The good thing is once you dial the coffee in, then your shots after that, they stay pretty consistent. But every time you have a new coffee, even if it's the same coffee and it's a different bag, you're gonna have to go through this process and dial in. Okay, distribute. Tamp. Let's try with this one. I still felt it went down a little bit more. Wow, I wonder if, well, we'll see. There's not, I was way off on my first guess. So on this guess, I mean, I don't know. I imagine it's gonna brew a little bit faster, but we'll see. We'll see what we get. Okay, lock it in. Let me dump this water out. Okay, shot glass is nice and hot. Put it back up here. Let me bring you guys in closer. Okay, everything's nice and clean and dry. Let's get the scale ready. All right, we're ready to try again. Again, we'll do the same process. I had a feeling we were still a bit fine by the way it went down when I tamped. But nonetheless, this one is obviously brewing faster and better, so let's see what we get. Again, we'll let it go to about 50 and then just hit the button. Wow, I speed up quite a bit from the way it started coming out. Look at all that crema we got. Okay, we're at 40. Okay, I stopped it a little early. All right, we got 50 grams in 37 seconds. Wow, this is picture perfect. Doesn't get any better than this. Now, is it gonna work perfectly for this particular coffee? We don't know. All you could do is now from, as far as the way it went down, is picture perfect. Okay, so now I know, and make a note once you dial in your coffees so that you don't forget. I'm gonna make a note of it as to, grind it at 17 on the niche, and you'll get like a 35-second shot. And wow, this picture perfect. We'll see if it works for this coffee. Now, for some coffees, depending on how much brightness, how much acidity, how much sweetness, you might want to tweak it from there. You might want to get it to brew a little bit longer, 40 seconds, or a little bit faster, 25 seconds. And that's how you just, keep adjusting, either go up or down on your grind size, and until you achieve the timing that you want. So let's get it back to the other counter and taste it.
All right, so we're tasting for the very first time this coffee as espresso. As pour over, it was absolutely wonderful. As espresso, we'll see, we got a nice layer of crema. It looks beautiful. We got a nice shot. And as far as timing, picture perfect. Well, I gotta say, this coffee has a nice aroma. And you know what I'm gonna say? It smells like honey. Wow. I'm surprised. I usually don't get that much, to be able to narrow it down to a particular kind of scent. But in this case, I'm gonna say it smells like honey. Okay, as espresso, I'm gonna say definitely I get more of that citrus. Okay, I get more of the tangerine. Let's see. Okay, so raspberry, mandarin, and sugar. So mandarin, not tangerine. Is there a difference? I hope I'm not way off on that.
Okay, as far as mandarins and tangerines, this is what I looked up. Mandarins are generally smaller than oranges and taste sweeter. So again, a very sweet fruit, which is what I was getting. Their skin is thinner and a little looser, which makes the fruit easier to peel. Tangerines have a bright orange color. Their flavor is less sweet and a bit more tart than most mandarins. So they're very similar, but they are a little bit different. So again, I was getting a very sweet fruit, and I really didn't get that citrus though. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that.
So let's see, let's try it. Okay, so right away, as espresso, I'm gonna say that mandarin, the more citrus, I could see it as higher acidity. Again, if you want to get this sweeter, you're probably going to want to brew it for another 5 to 10 more seconds. Yeah, there's definitely more of that mandarin, more citrus as espresso. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say that as pour over, I liked it more. It really was spectacular as pour over. As espresso, it's still awesome. It's very good. But as pour over, it was totally unexpected. The level of sweetness and wow, it was it was spectacular. I don't know how else to explain it. Let's see when it cools, because again, it's quite hot. Wow, the aroma is really is something something nice with this coffee. Very nice aroma. Yeah, definitely very high acidity. If you like acidity in your coffee, and I definitely do. It's one of the things. It's definitely one of my favorite parts of it is when you have a nice level of acidity, and this one, it will give it to you. It'll definitely give it to you. It's well balanced with nice sweetness. You know, as espresso, I gotta say, as espresso carry, I think is kind of similar to the beanstalk. At least this first shot. You know, this is my very first attempt. It's similar, but yet the beanstalk as espresso, I thought it was better. It was even better than this, in my opinion. And again, it's the very first shot. I'll report back to you guys. This could change drastically, okay? But as my first impressions, definitely like it better as pour over. As pour over, it blew my mind. It was awesome. As espresso, I would say the beanstalk was, okay, the very first shot, the beanstalk one was outstanding. This one is good, but I wouldn't take it to outstanding. The beanstalk one was better. The next time for sure, I'm gonna try to go for like more like a 40 seconds. So I'm gonna make a note of that to make sure to grind it maybe at 16 and a half instead of 17, maybe 16.5. Again, we started at 15.5 and almost nothing came out. So at 16.5, I think maybe that'll be the sweet spot. We'll see. I do have to say, high acidity as espresso, as pour over, very little. It was just a small amount of acidity and a lot more sweetness to it. As espresso, higher acidity, it still got some sweetness. Definitely more citrus, okay, as espresso. I could see that mandarin. I could see berries, but definitely higher acidity. Balanced with some sweetness. Tasty. Awesome shot. Anyway, I have a feeling this video is probably already gonna get like super long. Guys, thank you for watching. I'm gonna let you guys go here because if I keep chit-chatting, I'm gonna have to edit like a 3-hour long video, and I don't wanna do that. Maybe one day, if we get to build our little community, our little coffee club to 1,000 subscribers, that seems like impossible, but who knows? Then we'll be able to do some lives and I won't have to edit. Whatever happens is whatever happens, you know? But for now, that I like editing the videos and give you guys something more condensed. Obviously, if this was a live, I wouldn't be doing pour overs and doing shots and all of this all at the same time because I don't know how long I've been recording, but it's been a while. I would probably do just one or the other, but I won't have to edit. It'll just go straight up. But anyway, I do want to welcome some of our new subscribers to our little coffee club. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I hope you guys are brewing something tasty and that everybody's having a wonderful weekend. I don't know when you're gonna see this, but you know guys, I always post the video on Sunday mornings. So on Sunday, if you watch the videos, then I hope you guys have been enjoying them. I hope maybe I at least keep you company for a little while, maybe give you a chuckle here and there. Comment something below. Again, the interaction between myself and you guys is what makes it fun for me, because obviously filming myself making coffee time after time, what's the point? I always say it. I don't mind doing it, but what makes it fun for me is the interaction with you guys. When you guys comment something, when you guys, if I see that I'm bringing something to you of value, you know, you guys learn something, or just the fact that, you know, I was keeping you company for a little while you made your brew. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys next week.